Hi everybody, I'm Amy from the Cauldron, and in today's episode of Dye Time I'm going to be solar dyeing approximately 100 grams of this unspun but prepared fibre. It has been scoured and it's ready to spin. There is about 100 grams in here. Put it all out. There still is bits of vegetable matter in this. That's not a concern. And the dyes I'm using today are leftover dyes. I've got leftover fluorescent safety orange and leftover fluorescent lemon. These are both from April 2022. It is now September 2023, so they're over a year old. And I've got these two. These two are acid dyes from Dharma. Originally they were 1% depth of shade, so there was 1 gram of dye per 100 millilitres of water. I don't think it's quite that now. And then I've got these two, which I think are yellow and scarlet acid dyes from DT Craft and Design. Again, they were at a 1% depth of shade as well originally. Don't know if they are now. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to start off by just pouring in this yellow. See, there's not much in there. I am going to just try rinsing this out a little bit. All this equipment I'm using is dedicated for dyeing. I don't use it for any food. I've got my gloves on and I've got a towel down to protect my surface. I'm just going to put this in. Just going to try layering it a bit. I think I'm going to go with the fluorescent safety orange. This is supposed to be the fluorescent lemon, but it's over a year old now, so it doesn't smell. There was 200 millilitres in that, but I think it was just sort of leftover stuff, stuff that I've rinsed my spoon out in, so I don't think it was a 1% depth of shade. I may regret this by adding far too much dye. The fluorescent colours are certainly better to be used sparingly. Now this is the fluorescent safety orange. These ones take a while. Yep, this definitely says fluorescent safety orange, but that is very pink. I wonder if something happens to the yellow pigment in these colours after a year, because this one is from April 2022 as well. I don't know. And I'm just going to pop the rest of that in there and pour on this scarlet. I think it's scarlet. Oop. Good thing I've got something down to protect my work surface. I'm going to add a bit more of the safety orange. This is strange. I might have to just dye this on its own with some yarn just to see what colour it turns out now. I'm just going to slowly add some water to fill this up. This fibre will compact down. Give that a little poke down. Whoa, that is a very red colour. I think we're going to lose all of that yellow. In fact, I will be very surprised if there's any yellow left. I did put the yellow at the bottom in the hopes that we might save some of that yellow, but we may not. So I'm just going to add 1, 2, oh, well, that's the end of my bottle. 3 tablespoons of vinegar. I'm just going to fill this up now with water. There we go. That looks really nice. I think I might add a squirt more of the supposed fluorescent safety orange. Just going to top this up. And now for the heat source, I'm going to use the sun because it's been very hot the last few days. So this is just going to go sit in the sun for probably about 3 days. I don't think I'm going to get time to work on this again until Monday. So hopefully the sun will set some of this dye to the fibre, and then we'll come back and heat set it on the stove. This has been sitting in the sun for 3 days now. It hasn't been sunny every day. It's gotten quite warm, but I'm going to heat set it on the stove now. If I press my fingers in there, it doesn't look like there's any dye still in there, but I'm going to be very gentle and tip this out. This will be the big test, see if there's any dye left in this water. Oh, it's all stuck in there. Oh, I can see yellow bits. That's exciting. And it looks like most of the dye is in the fibre, which is brilliant. So what I'm going to do is transfer this to my steam basket. I'm going to let this steam set for probably 30 to 40 minutes-ish, at least 30 minutes. This has been on the heat for about 35 minutes now. So let's have a little look. Nice and steamy in there. And it looks like there isn't really any colour coming off this at all. The water in there looks pretty clear. So I am happy with that. I'm going to take this off the heat and let it cool down so that I can wash it. This fibre has completely cooled down now. So I'm just going to transfer it into a bowl of cold water. I don't want to felt this, so I'm not going to let the water run on the fibre. I'm going to add a little bit of washing up liquid. If there is bleeding, I'm not too concerned, because I am going to be spinning this, and then once this is spun into yarn, it will be a little bit easier to wash that remaining dye out. So this is just a little rinse, just to see if there's anything to get anything coming out, which it doesn't look like, which is great. Move that back into my steam basket, and I'm just going to add some more water. I'm going to let this soak in this water now for a bit. Still, I don't think there's any dye coming out, but I'm going to let it sit there and soak, and I'm going to change the water maybe every 5-10 minutes or so, just until I get all this soapy bubbles out, and then I can leave this to dry. And here is the fibre all ready to be carded. There are still some yellow patches here and there, but the yellow did get taken over by the reds and the oranges that I poured in. The colours have sort of blended together to make this really nice peachy orangey, really warm coloured fibre. And when I card it, I'm going to try really hard to keep these yellow patches together so that I've got those colours, and then sort of the rest, that's more sort of orangey, and sort of over here this is a bit more red. I'm going to try and keep those sorts of colours together so that I don't get an average of all the colours. I still get the individual colours, I'm hoping. I've got my hand carders here. I'm going to go put on an episode or two of Charmed and sit there and card until I've got something I can spin. And here is my lovely pile of fluff, all carded up into Rolags and ready to be spun. Now, I did try to separate the colours, but they're all very similar. I did manage to get some of the yellows and oranges sort of there and carded into these lovely Rolags, but most of them are this sort of pale red peachy colour, which again I really like. So now I'm going to go spin this into yarn, and here is the finished yarn. I am so amazed that I've managed to take this from dirty raw fleece to something that can be knitted or crocheted with, something that's usable. I still can't believe I've managed to do this. While spinning, I did try and keep all the colours separate so that they didn't all blend together. You can see there is sort of orangey colours this side, but most of it is this peachy pink colour, which did make it a little bit easier when I was spinning. I didn't have to focus quite so much on which Rolag I grabbed, but I think it looks lovely. And since I used fluorescent dyes, I am curious to see what this looks like under a black light. Not sure how well my black light is working, but it doesn't, this isn't really showing up under a black light at all. This is also dyed with fluorescent colours, and you can see just how bright that yarn is. And it doesn't look like the fluorescent has really transferred to this fibre. I don't know if it's because the dyes were stocks. I don't know if that's because the dye stocks were so old, or if it was anything to do with my process. I'm not disappointed. I was more curious than anything. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Do please click like and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Would you like to see more from fleece to fibre to yarn videos? Let me know. I do have loads more dirty fleece ready to be washed, so I'm going to be washing and processing and dyeing all this fleece. Maybe not videoing if nobody's interested. I publish a new video every Monday, usually around 6 PM UK time, so make sure you've got those notifications turned on so you never miss a new video. Thank you so much for watching.